Guy Donnie Marshall, Ace Ticket Studio. Welcome to Celtics pregame live. You know, these Hawks, they've been pesky. However, during the regular season, they haven't had great luck against the Celtics.
Yeah, they seem to be one of those teams that don't focus. I don't know if that's because they're still trying to figure out who they really are. I think they really dealt with that all season last year in the beginning. This team just cannot get it going early. Good in the playoffs, though. We know that.
Yeah, during the regular season, Celtics have won 7 straight against them. But, Donnie, they can score. They average 107.8 points per game. The Celtics are allowing just under 85 a game. Best field goal percentage. They are third. Celtics have the best in the NBA right now. So something's got to give tonight. It's another battle of offense versus defense. KG on tonight's game.
Young, exciting, full of energy, and they have gotten better. I think they've gotten better from a perspective of individuals. Joe Johnson, which makes that team go, he's gotten a lot better. You know, Josh, Beavis the Gutty veteran, Horford, Al. So that deep team, young team, like you said, should be a good test for us.
Okay, who wins out, defense or offense tonight?
Defense. It has to. The Celtics know they're at home. They know the crowd will be behind them. They also know that they are a defensive team. They are the best defensive team in the NBA. To me, defense overrules offense any day of the week.
Also, a lot of young legs on this Atlanta team. It's a good thing the Celtics have had some rest. Let's go across the street. TD Garden, check in with our Simmons sideline guy, Greg Dickerson, who has a story about a former Hawk who's now wearing green.
Yeah, Sheldon Williams was a very high draft pick of the Atlanta Hawks 4 seasons ago. Things just did not work out for him. He was traded in his second year to Sacramento, and the deal that brought Mike Bibby down to Atlanta. You know, and Sheldon has talked in the last couple of days that, you know, in his time in Atlanta, his minutes were really up and down, never really had a chance to get a flow. And it's interesting, if you look at his game log that first season, he's exactly correct. When he did play 30, 35 minutes a game, he produced. He was almost a double-double guy, but for some reason or another, he didn't get those minutes consistently. He's starting to get the minutes consistently here in Boston, and he also knows and understands what his role is. Is this sort of a grudge match for him? He was asked that. He said, no, listen, I kind of got over that a long time ago. Yeah, the first time I faced Atlanta when I was in Sacramento, it really meant something to me, but tonight, it's just another game. For the Celtics, they are pretty much completely healthy. Obviously, big baby Glenn Davis, he is still out, as is Tony Allen. Brian Scalabrine dressed and ready to play, as is Bill Walker. He was available, if you remember, back on Wednesday in the win over the Utah Jazz. One of the biggest stories early on this season has been point guard matchup. Seems like we talk about it every single game. Rajon Rondo against one of the best in the NBA tonight. Another tough matchup. He and Mike Bibby go at it. Here's Mike and Tommy with their thoughts, guys.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. You know, it seems like we could talk about point guards just about every game, and tonight we should talk about the point guards because Bibby's a pretty good one. Got a little bit of size on Rondo. What do you think of that?
Well, the quickness advantage goes to Rondo, and Rondo can penetrate almost at will, I believe, against Bibby. Bibby is not a good defender. And the other thing Rondo can do is play tease penetration. In other words, get Josh Smith overlooking all the time and wondering whether he should go for a block or stay with his man. That's what I call tease penetration. And as long as you stay with Bibby on the perimeter, that's his best shot. You can negate what his contribution is.
All right, we'll see if Rondo's able to do that tonight. What do you got in the mailbag there for us tonight, Gary?
All right, guys, we're reaching deep into the mailbag, and this comes from Eamon in Springfield, the TD Bag, Tommy and Mike's mailbag. With the way Rondo has been playing lately, do you think this is the year that he gets voted to the All-Star team? Tommy, let's start with you.
I don't know if he's going to get voted to the All-Star game ever, okay? He should have been in the All-Star game the year they won the title. But people, for some reason or other, don't consider him to be a complete point guard. Believe me when I tell you, to me, he's the best point guard in the NBA right now.
All right, it will be interesting to see how, from my point of view, how he's able to get by the guys in his own locker room. That, I think, is one of the bigger problems for Rajon. Ray, Paul, and Kevin are all probably going to the All-Star game. Guys get tired of checking the Boston box on their ballots, so we'll see whether or not the fans maybe can come out and make Rondo an All-Star.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Tommy and Mike's mailbag is the most convenient way to reach the guys. All you have to do is email Tommy and Mike at csnne.com. Your question could be used during pregame live or on the website. It's the most convenient way to talk directly with Tommy and Mike from TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. Let's check out that Marshall Plan brought to you by Metro PCS. At the top of the list for D. Marsh is Not Your Average Joe, Ball Stoppers, and Make It Matter. And when you talk about Not Your Average Joe, we know who you're talking about.
Well, Gary, if you think that Joe Johnson doesn't come back to this building and remember how he was traded away, you're silly. This guy understands when you come to Boston, not only are they the best team or one of the best teams in the NBA year in and year out, but they're also a team that I began with. I want to prove to them. Joe Johnson averages almost 18 points a game against the Celtics in 18 games versus them. He's always fired up to play them. He is a tough matchup for Ray Allen. Probably not as tough for Paul Pierce, but for anyone in this league at that two-guard spot, Joe Johnson is a handful.
All right, comes down to the ball stoppers tonight. As we showed you at the top of the show, Atlanta can score, so it comes down to the D, right, Donnie?
It does. 1 through 10, 11, 12. Whoever is on the floor in a white jersey tonight, you know, Gary, that this team, the Hawks, average 107 points a game. Half of those, Gary, in the paint. Over 53 points a game in the paint, and that's not on post-ups. They're not running sets, Gary. They are running every opportunity they get. They move the ball very well. Josh Smith gets out in that lane. Bibby likes to push it. These guys can run. You have to stop the ball if you're the Celtics.
Plus, you have 5 guys that can score in double figures on any given night for Atlanta. Make it matter.
This is so important. We talked about the first game of the year against the Cavs. Does it matter? This game matters. That game against Cleveland, to me, mattered. The Hawks, don't think that they're not looking back on this game. Paul Pierce, game-winning shot to win by 1. He had 34 points. That was a year and a day ago. The Hawks are thinking about that and also how they haven't got a win in a long time against the Celtics in the regular season. So this game, not only are the Hawks going to make it matter, but I guarantee you the Celtics understand they need to make it matter as well.
Well, I mean, there's a history between these teams. The Celtics almost eliminated them. The Hawks almost eliminated the Celtics during the Celtics playoff run, and that's really when Atlanta grew up. This is a benchmark game for the Hawks.
Absolutely.
They can find out where they're at. There's Josh Smith. He's averaging 2.6 blocks per game in the NBA. That's where he's at. Coming up next, it's the three-man weave. And the coach, Tim Walsh, joins us right here in the Ace Ticket Studio. On Causeway Street, it's game night, Ace Ticket, Celtic pregame live. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, across the street at the TD Garden, the Celtics will take on the high-flying Atlanta Hawks. Welcome to the three-man weave, and joining us here at the kids' table, Tim Walsh, the coach. Always great to see you, Timmy. Let's talk about this Hawks offense. In the win Wednesday night by Atlanta over New York, they had 4 players with over 19 points. They can score.
Jamal Crawford.
Yes.
He's the key addition. I mean, last year in the playoffs, when they got knocked out by Cleveland, they really had some major problems in the half-court scoring. And Crawford can play both ways. He can play up-tempo style, and he can go get points. I like him in this role. Instead of the main guy, which he's been in a lot of spots for them, he's a guy that can come in. He's kind of an instant offense guy off the bench. He knows his role. They can keep him on a tight leash. But, hey, he's a microwave off the bench, and he showed it the other night, and he's had some big, big nights, including in their win over Denver last week.
Well, the thing I love about Crawford were 2 things. One, he's from my home state, Washington, out of Seattle, but he can score in any position you put him in. If he's a starter, we saw how well he played in Chicago, scores a lot of points. And when you're a guy who knows how to score, guys, you come off the bench, and, Coach, you know this, there's no pressure. There's no stress. You know what your job is. It's to come in, heat it up, score as many as you can. You really have the fluorescent green light, if you will. Jamal Crawford, great spot for him coming off the bench.
I mean, this guy's going to give Rashid a run for his money for the 6th Man of the Year award.
He could.
No doubt about that. Now, when KG was talking about how he's progressing this year, he basically said the reason he knows that things are going well is because he can do the cha-cha-cha.
I'm a dancer, believe it or not. So I took a lot of those similar movements to simulate some of the things to be able to, when you're on your heels, to be able to turn and swing, and you know, if y'all know how to samba, you're moving your hips and all that stuff. So believe it or not, that did help me a little bit.
All right, Coach, doing the salsa.
Well, you know, you see the smile on his face. You see that little sarcasm. You see that fun with the media, kind of joking around. He likes this basketball team. That's the key thing, number one. He likes his teammates. He knows that they have a great second unit where he doesn't have to grind out all those minutes. And now he's finding his rhythm out there. He's finding his offense. I think it was early. It was his defense, his lateral movement. He had to find that to get back in the lane, shot blocks, get out on the screens. Now he's starting to feel good about his offensive game. Now he's shooting the ball from the middle range. He's putting it on the deck. He's finishing those little tip-ins around the rim, so that allows him to joke around a little bit.
Well, whether it's Dancing with the Stars, Pilates, yoga, whatever it is, KG has done it, and he looks great. We talked about his lift a lot, obviously. We talked about, is he limping on that knee? We see none of that. I know Gary's had some issues with Felger talking about the lift.
Well,
Felger wants to show you all the misses. Gary has a point. He's got lift. He's back. Maybe it is from the cha-cha-cha or the tango, whatever it is he was doing.
Oh, the tango. Very good. Thank you. I like you're bringing that in. Speaking of trash talking and Felger, it is time for the JRM Recycling and Hauling Talking Trash. Okay, guys, it's Donnie's old buddy here, Byron Scott, gets fired. Goes from Coach of the Year to getting whacked. But for those of us in the know, it's no surprise. New Orleans is 3-6 on the season, Tim. Second to last place in the Southwest. I guess sooner or later this was going to happen.
Well, what happens is when you start giving up a lot of points, that points to the coach. And they're giving up about 106 points a game. And you've got to be able to defend. Listen, they signed Okafor on a trade. I think this team went the wrong way last year with the whole debacle with Tyson Chandler. They dangled him out there, they traded him, then they brought him back after the physical problem, and now they've got James Posey's averaging 4 points a game. They're not playing well offensively right now. It's just Chris Paul and David West. Hey, as some coach once told me, you know, you got into this business. There's a reason you're in it. There's a reason you're going to get out of it. If there's wins aren't there, you're gone.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Well, he was fired from Jersey, and he really didn't have this bad a record. The problem is, I think, and I don't want to put all the pressure on his assistants and his staff, but you need assistants. When he was in New Jersey with us, we had Michael Korn, we had Eddie Jordan, we had Lawrence Frank, great assistant coaches. When you're a coach that has a great point guard like he did in Jersey and now had in New Orleans, you need substance. You can't just do it with smoke and mirrors. I think they caught on to it.
All right, do you buy Chris Paul saying that it's not Byron's fault, or is he just being nice? Because we all know Byron has this.
Chris Paul liked Byron Scott.
Okay.
He liked him, and I think Chris Paul doesn't want to be looked at. You heard all the rumors in Jersey with J. Kidd. J. Kidd wanted him out of there. Was not true, and I think Chris Paul is trying to tell people, look, wasn't me. I think in a roundabout way he's telling people, I like Byron Scott. It's not him. It's what we're doing on the floor. All
right, that is the JRM Hauling and Recycling Talking Trash. Byron Scott, Coach no more down in New Orleans. Now let's take a look at what's going on with LeBron James. LeBron James, after performing in front of Michael Jordan, and also Dwayne Wade was on hand as well when he had this highlight dunk right here. Now that is some lift over Varejao. But after this game, LeBron James said, you know what? I'm not going to wear number 23 next year. I'm going to wear number 6. He said, as a matter of fact, no one should wear number 23 at all. It should be retired by the entire NBA. Couple of points. Number 6, okay, belonging to the great Bill Russell, arguably the greatest player to ever play, and also Dr. J. In my opinion, Tim, LeBron should just shut up and try to win a championship and quit getting involved in all this stuff.
I think he's got a little bit of Shaq's gabbiness now. Shaq, you know how Shaq likes to talk all the time. There's always something new coming out of LeBron. A few days earlier, he says, I'm not talking about the free agent world anymore, so now he's on to something else.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Michael was there. Maybe he'll go to the Bobcats. Maybe maybe he was recruiting last night like a college coach. Or maybe he's going to not wear 23 because he can't, because maybe he and D. Wade are going back to D. Wade's hometown, Chicago. That could be something.
Well, this to me,
you're stirring it up now, buddy. You're stirring it up.
We're not talking about the free agency stuff. Isn't that what?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he doesn't want to
talk about it.
Well, we can. Well, the thing that bothers me with this is, youngsters, do your homework. History is so important, not just in life, but in sports. Trailblazer, Bill Russell. He played in an era at a time where he couldn't go out to eat with his teammates because of the color of his skin. He could not use certain bathrooms. He had to deal with racial slurs on and off the court. You talk about a trailblazer, someone who really changed the game for everyone, myself included. Bill Russell's the guy. LeBron, you need to do your homework. You might have to change that number again.
That's right. If you retire 23, you have to retire number 6. Okay, the Suns got cooled off their second loss of the year to L.A., and while the Suns have been playing well, I think we all knew without a doubt the best team in the West is still the Lakers.
Wow, the Lakers actually got out and defended last night. I mean, 102 is 102, but, you know, we know from seeing Phoenix come in here last week, they can light it up. And the thing that L.A. did last night is they got Phoenix to miss. miss. I don't know necessarily if they played great defense, but Phoenix didn't hit their threes last night. They're 8 for 23, and Andrew Bynum, when he's healthy, he is one of the top big guys in the league. The problem is keeping him healthy. He keeps going down about every 30 games or so. So they've got to keep him alive and up in the lineup. And if Gasol comes back, when he comes back, Phil Jackson teased us about that last week, but he should be back soon. They're going to get better and better because our test still isn't comfortable yet in that triangle offense.
They have all the pieces right now. Gasol will be back. I'm tired of hearing people say they don't have a point guard. Derek Fisher has won championship after championship.
Hey, everybody, we're at Ace Ticket Studio right here in Boston on Causeway Street. Coming up momentarily, it will be the Celtics taking on the Atlanta Hawks. I'm Gary Tangway. Mike Katami will have the call. The game coming right up. One of the key members of this Atlanta team is a guy that, quite frankly, has to play out of position a lot. Al Horford. Really, the guy's a forward, but he's forced to play center quite a bit. Let's take a look at what he did Wednesday night against the New York Knicks in the Amica shot chart. This resulted in a New York Knicks 114-101 win. Scratch that, an Atlanta 114-101 win over the Knicks. He had a season-high 25 points. He was 9 of 16 from the floor. With Al Horford is our Simmons sideline guy, Greg Dickerson, across the street in the Garden.
All right, Gary, thanks so much. Al, 6-2 start. What do you like about it so far, this early part of the season?
I think we're better than last year. I think that's the thing that I'm probably most excited about. And obviously, tonight's a big test to see where we're at.
How about the maturity of this team? I mean, when we saw you guys in the playoffs 2 years ago, it was a young, athletic team. You're still young and athletic, but you've matured and you brought in guys like Joe Smith and Jamal Crawford.
I think so, and I think we've gotten better. We've grown a lot, and obviously we're trying to do bigger things this year.
Your coach Mike Woodson just said the Celtics team across the way is better than they were 2 years ago, the championship team. So that's kind of scary. What do you see out of this team now?
They certainly are. When you bring a guy like Rasheed Wallace, it makes a big difference. You still have your core the same. So, I think everybody in the league has gotten better. So this is going to be a big challenge overall, playing every game your hardest.
How important has it been to win on the road for you, for this team early on this season? You had a big win in Portland. It's something I know you guys had struggled with in the past.
Very important. In the past, we would go out west and maybe win 1 out of 4. So it was a big deal for us to kind of go out there and do well. So, that just shows the growth of the team, and, hopefully we'll keep getting better.
So you do look at tonight as kind of a measuring stick kind of game for where you guys are at this early stage of the season?
I mean, you can say that. I felt like we've been tested already, but, this is the top team in the East, probably in the whole league, so this will be a great test for us.
Al, thanks. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Let's go back to you in the studio.
All right, Greg, thanks a lot.
Oh, young fella, you haven't been tested yet. You haven't been tested yet. You will be tonight.
Is this the right team for him?
He's a player that you put him on any team, Gary, he's going to give you something good. He doesn't need to touch the ball a lot. He outworks guys. Everybody wants a guy on their team.
It'd actually be a very good Celtic. New England Tailgate, Thursday, 7:30, presented by Jack Daniels. Old number 7, Glenn Ordway, Steve Diassi, and Fred Smirlis, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Still to come, Celtics pregame live. A guy that could give Rasheed a run for his money for the 6th man of the year is Jamal Crawford, averaging 17 a game off the bench. Donnie with some final thoughts and a close call for KG next.
You're watching Celtics pregame live on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wednesday night versus the Jazz. KG, 2 of his 18, but we held our breath as he went down after the alley-oop. With more on recovering from knee injuries like this, here's our own Simmons sideline reporter, Greg Dickerson.
All right, Gary, thanks so much, Doctor. When a player or an athlete goes through a major knee surgery, no matter what it is, when do you typically see a player back to 100%, to where they were before the injury?
It can really take up to a year or even 2 years sometimes, depending on the degree of the injury. Players will usually return within 6 to 8 months to the court or the playing field, but it can really take up to a year to 2 years till they really get back up to speed in terms of leg strength and their just confidence on the court.
Obviously, we've seen major knee injuries with Kevin Garnett and Tom Brady with the Patriots. When a player does come back, at the time that Brady and KG have come back. Is there greater risk to hurting that knee before they get to that 1 year, that 18-month time period?
Usually we don't let them go back on the court or the field until they're really safe to go back out. There's always a risk of re-injury, especially with a major injury like what Tom Brady or Kevin Garnett had. But generally speaking, the risk of re-injury isn't greater at that point. It's just a matter of them getting back up to speed and getting their confidence more than anything else.
Doctor, appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Gary, let's go back to you in the studio.
Guys, thanks a lot. Don't forget, it's McDonald's Halftime Live. Donnie will break down the first half. Look ahead to the second, plus a Sportsnet Central update with our guy Kevin Walsh. Right after the game, post-game live presented by your New England Ford dealers for analysis and reaction to this one. This should be a very exciting ball game. You'll hear Doc Rivers' post-game press conference, and also find out who wins the Tommy Award as the guys will check in from across the way. Mohegan Sun Sports tonight, right after Celtics post-game live. A preview of a huge game on Sunday, Patriots and the Colts. We'll wrap up the game you're about to watch. Tom Curran in studio, Sherrod Blakely of CSNNE.com. From the Garden, right after postgame Mohegan Sun Sports tonight, the late edition. Also during the game, log on to CSNNE.com and you can follow Rich Levine. You can follow Sherrod Blakely online as the game's going on and find out what their thoughts are. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Is that what you want me to do?
No.
Oh.
You have your own thoughts. You can come up with your own thoughts.
A lot of them. Stop the basketball. This team runs. We know that. They don't shoot it very well from the three-point line. Just over 34%. We'll make them beat you over the top. This should be a pretty good game.
All right, guests appearing on Celtics pre- and post-game live receive gift certificates to the Capitol Grill with locations in Burlington, Chestnut Hill, and right on Newbury Street in Boston.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
Stand by. The game is next. It's the high-flying, scoring Hawks against the defensive-minded Celtics at the Garden. We'll talk to you on McDonald's Celtics Halftime Live.
Seize.
Kevin Garnett and company bring an 8-1 record to the TD Garden tonight, but waiting for them, one of the more athletic teams, a team that always gives them trouble. Joe Johnson and the Hawks are next. 4 on the clock, 3 on the clock. Pierce for the game. Got it! The tip won't go. Tipped again. Rebound underneath. Rejected. The Celtics have won 16 in a row. Well, if you're looking for a good NBA basketball game, all you have to do is roll the ball out there when the Hawks and Celtics are in the building. They are tonight. The Hawks at 6-2, the Celtics at 8-1. We're expecting to have a lot of fun over the next couple of hours. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Gorman, along with Tom Hines. And Tommy, this is a very, very good Atlanta basketball team. They get better and better, it seems, every year. This year, they're one of the best offensive teams in the league, averaging 108 points a game, and they do get up and down the floor.
Well, led by Joe Johnson, he's their go-to guy. He can penetrate, he can hit the outside shot and dazzle you with a whole array of offensive moves. So Joe Johnson has always been a troublesome player for the Celtics to stop. This has got to be the fastest power forward in the league, Josh Smith, and he is a finisher and a shot blocker. So what you got to do is show it to him and then find his man. So Josh Smith, our weapon in their defense.
The Celtics come in at tonight's action, the most unselfish team in the entire NBA. They lead the NBA in assists. They're first in points differential. They got back in the gym for a couple of days and came out the other night and just smoked Utah here.
Yeah, they had 30 assists in that ball game. The extra pass and then some led to an awful lot of layup. And they were really aggressive after a couple of days rest. Hopefully that'll carry over to tonight's game. But they were really terrific, finding each other, taking the best shot, not settling for the first one up the floor.
One thing we notice game after game is Kevin Garnett gets closer and closer to the guy he was a couple of years ago. He's not all the way there, but he's getting his rhythm back slowly.
I'm a dancer, believe it or not. I took a lot of those similar movements to simulate some of the things to to be able to, when you're on your heels, to be able to turn and swing, and you know, if y'all know how to samba, you're moving your hips and all that stuff. So believe it or not, that did help me a little bit. Rhythm is everything. I'm not in the rhythm that I want to be, but as each game comes, I'm getting confident.
KG for 2 more.
All night long.
Celtics basketball.
Comcast Sportsnet, the heart of Celtics basketball.
3 on the clock. Pierce for the game. Got it!
Do you know what time it is? It's game time. Here's Mike and Tommy.
Thanks, Paul. Friday night Celtic basketball is presented by SBLI. Just a quick conversation with an SBLI life insurance expert can get you started on protecting your family with the dependable coverage they need. Call or visit SBLI.com today. Let's check out our Southwest Airlines starting lineup for tonight's game. The most productive starting lineup in all of the NBA, according to Dick Lightman. He doesn't lie about stuff like that. Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Kendrick Perkins have outscored their opposition by 67 points while they've been on the floor. The head coach, Doc Rivers, in his 6th season with the Celtics. On the other side, for the up-and-coming Atlanta Hawks, this is a young, solid basketball team. Mike Bibby and Joe Johnson make up the backcourt. Marvin Williams, Josh Smith, and Al Horford are along the front line for head coach Mike Woodson. Had some rocky moments with this team, but they're coming around. He's in his 6th season also as the Hawks coach. Tonight's sideline reports are brought to you by Simmons, the smart choice in plumbing products. Here's Greg.
And the aforementioned Mike Woodson, who is in his final year of a contract with the Atlanta Hawks, has high praise, and I mean very high praise for the Boston Celtics. Said they are by far the best team in the NBA. He said this team is better than the one 2 years ago that won a championship. That's exactly how scary they are. Added Rasheed Wallace, Marquise Daniels. They're a better defensive team than they were 2 years ago. And he said because of the defense, they don't have to shoot the ball, Will, to win games. The defense will always keep them in games. He had one guarantee for me. He said because of the defense, he said I guarantee they will not get blown out once this season, guys.
Just love that routine by Kevin Garnett. Tonight's Honeydew List is brought to you by Honeydew Donuts. Grab 1 gingerbread muffin or 2 gingerbread donuts for just 99 cents for a limited time. Enjoy the local flavor. What do you got, T?
Contains Smith on the boards and the fast break. Got to beat him down and penetrate and find Smith's man. He goes for every ounce of penetration.
Hawks with the tip. Johnson with the basketball. He'll be picked up by Ray Allen. We're underway. Burke is going to cover Horford. As we expected, Rondo will chase Bibby around. First rebound of the game belongs to Burke. Pierce is defended by Williams down on the baseline. Comes out for it. Inside to Perk. Size advantage on Horford. Backs him down. A little off. Looked like he got bumped on the way up and threw off the shot. Here's Johnson the other way. Johnson. Offensive board put back up by Williams won't go. The tip does, though, from Horford.
Well, they are an excellent weak side rebounding team. Williams can rebound. Smith can rebound. And Horford, as you just saw. So you really got to concentrate on blocking them off.
Ray Allen's got Smith down on the baseline, takes him in the paint, tries to show him the ball. Short. Tip. Ray gets it back again, but it's taken away by Bibby. Bibby not a crowd favorite at all here in Boston, but makes a very nice pass to Horford there, and the Hawks have an early 4-0 lead. Atlanta, as you can see, will take it to the basket. And as Tommy said, we'll follow up on the offensive board and score inside. Pierce, deep, no. Rebound gobbled up by Horford. He comes dribbling out himself. Now gets it back at Bibby's hands. Horford trying to move one-on-one with Perk. Nice job by Perkins. Up quickly to Pierce. Into the paint, spins, can't kiss it home. Taken down by Horford. 6'2" edge on the glass early here for Atlanta.
Now, offensive rebounds. You can't let them get those.
It's going to be a foul on Horford.
Watch this nice defense by Perk on Horford. Horford's backing him down, and then the fall away, left hand up, right on the shooting hand. Beautifully done by Perk.
First foul on Horford, the first in the game. KG knocked away, but a reach-in foul is called on Smith. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Shields MRI, the official MRI provider of the Boston Celtics. Glenn Davis, Tony Allen remain on the list. Brian Scalabrine on the bench. And Scal told me earlier he definitely will play tonight. That's provided Doc calls his name. Good look inside. KG for two. Nice job by Ray Allen.
I sure was. They played Ray. Two of the Hawks ended up with Ray.
KG gets a hand in the passing lane. Quickly to Allen. Perkins legging it up the floor. Ray gets into the paint. Dumps it looking for Rondo. And Ray trying to say it was deflected out of bounds. Not happening. Turnovers even at one apiece. Smith across the lane. Two.
Nice shot. Running hook shot.
Yeah. He gets way up there too.
Once you get your body between the man and the ball, into the hoop.
Strong move to the bucket by Pierce.
Well, if they play Pierce one up, he'll burn Williams.
Celtics back to within two. Johnson, sounded like a lot of ball. Ray Allen saying that. He's going to pick up the foul.
Take a look at Paul Pierce, how aggressive he can be against Williams. Just turns the corner on Williams, and strong move.
Just powered it by Bibby, too, who was trying to reach in.
Joe Johnson at the line, shooting two.
Numbers this season for Joe, 8 games, of course, taken by the Celtics back in, what was it, 2001, I think? The NBA draft, first round pick, and ultimately traded to Phoenix.
Yeah, that first year, he was a little rocky, trying to adjust to pro basketball, but you could tell he had skills. And at that point, he was a pretty good defender, too.
Average better than 20 a game the last 4 years. Rondo on the baseline. Good look for Perk.
There was that little move by Rondo, the tease penetration. Get it in there, make them all react, show them the ball, and find the shooter.
Smith knocks down a deep two. He has not attempted a three-point field goal this year, and that is something that really had, I won't say alienated, but certainly his teammates and his coach weren't very happy with some of the threes he would seem to randomly jack up last year. Pierce misses deep. 7-3 the rebounding advantage early here for Atlanta. Williams along the baseline, dumps it to Horford. Horford decides to take it, make it. Not sure why he decided to pass it up the first time by, but got it the second. Horford's 3 for 4 in the game, 6 points and 3 rebounds in 5 minutes. Pierce inside, KG. Traveling violation.
Traveling violation and mental.
Well, I couldn't see if he walked or not, but yeah. One dribble would have done it.
Johnson on the baseline, Allen defending. Perk comes to help out. Picked off by Garnett. Good double team by Boston caused the turnover. Rondo spins into the forecourt. Keeps the dribble alive and now has it taken away by a combination of Johnson and Bibby. Johnson, oh, good play by Pierce, but Bibby hustles for the loose ball. A lot of quick hands on the defensive end of the floor tonight. And Bibby knocks down a jumper.
They're red hot.
They sure are. They've hit 6 of 11, 55%. They're on a 6-0 run here and lead it by 8. Second consecutive Friday night here at the TD Garden. The Celtics have run into a very good offensive basketball team. Last Friday night it was the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Garnett.
I'm going to tell you right now, Smith is the guy you should go at. He doesn't want to foul out of this game. And he's just waving at Garnett.
9 on the shot clock for Johnson. That's a strong move amongst 3 white shirts there. 4 points for Johnson.
Those are really great shots. Right in the teeth of the defense and over the top.
58% shooting for Atlanta here early. Celtics go to the matchup he wanted. Double team. Oh, good look by first Garnett and then Rondo. And Perkins, the beneficiary. And Atlanta is going to take a timeout. Entertaining 7 minutes to open the game on a Friday night here at the TD Garden. The Hawks, as advertised, good and lead by 6. Pierce is there. Rondo's ahead of the field. Rondo back.
That's a play by Pierce.
Gets a look at it. Yes! Kevin Garnett for 2.
All doctors want to be focused on quality. That's why you get into medicine, to take really good care of people. The relationship that Atrius Health and Blue Cross Blue Shield have is unique. There is a focus on quality and not on production, to focus on health and prevention. That relationship is not just here for the Blue Cross Blue Shield patients. We're now able to provide care differently for an entire community.
Jeep. Knowing reality isn't captured by a hidden camera. It doesn't come in episodes either. You see, I don't live to live through anyone, ever. So while everyone waits to see the next best this or an unbelievable that, here's the reality. There's no rerun when you're living in the now. So while you tune in, I'll be somewhere, getting out. I live, I ride, I am Jeep.
Check out Sports Sunday this week at 10 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hawks are off to a quick start here on a Friday night, 16-10. They lead Boston by 6. One guy who played for the Hawks and now plays for the Celtics is Sheldon Williams, and I talked with Doc Rivers about him earlier tonight.
Talk to me a little bit about Sheldon's play. At least from where Tommy and I sit, he's so much better than we thought.
Yeah, well, he's, I just kept saying we can't forget who he was when he was in college. He was the best big man in college. That didn't just go away. And why it didn't work in other places, I don't know. But for us, he's keeping it simple. We put him in spots where we feel that he can be successful, and he's doing that. And give him the credit. He's really doing it. The one thing we knew he could do in college, he hasn't done the NBA, that he's doing with us is rebounding. I mean, he's been a great rebounder for us, and that's a pleasant surprise.
At a time the Celtics needed some help with Glenn Davis out of the lineup, this kid's really stepped up to him.
He surely has, and I think as you say, his daubers were down because nobody seemed to love him. They sure love him here in Boston.
Tonight's It's Real replay is sponsored by Wendy's. You know when it's real.
Well, watch this good play here. Double on Garnett, and quickly it goes right to Perk. And there was Smith backing away once again, just waving at people.
Offense coming easily to both sides here tonight. The Celtics have made 5 of their last 6 shots. Atlanta has made their last 5 shots. Bibby, Johnson, Williams, Smith, and Horford remain out there for the Hawks. No changes for the Celtics, so good help by Pierce there after Horford had made a nice cut to the basket.
Now that was heads-up defense by Pierce.
7 on the Amica shot clock. Nobody had Marvin.
Well, there were 2 guys underneath, both Josh Smith and Marvin. And Pierce had both of them.
Smith has switched out on Pierce now. Pierce wants to take him off the dribble. Little step away. A 2. Two for 5 shooting for Pierce. 4 points and a rebound in the first 8 minutes. Celtics within 6. Boston has not led in this game. Williams the step away, and he knocks it down. Marvin Williams been around for a while, but he's only 23 years old. He's just coming into his game. Looks like he's got a lot of game. KG for 2. Garnett's 3 for 3 on the night.
And they're going to double him on the dribble, so he's got to make his move quick.
Johnson's got Rondo in a switch. We got an illegal defense whistled against the Celtics. Wholesale substitutions being made by Dockey. You don't see it that often. Well, now he changes it. He had Rasheed, Daniels, and Williams all at the table at once. Then Sheldon went back to sit down. Smith and Pachulia are about to come into the game for the Hawks. Let's take a look at our Subaru key matchup of the game, and it's not an individual, it's the bench. You can see the Celtics 13th in the league, the Hawks 6th in the league in points, thanks to Jamal Crawford, who's averaging 18 a game off the bench. Great shooting percentages. Celtics a little edge in rebounds.
Boy, when he was with Chicago, he was a gunner. When he was a Knick, I mean, he was a machine gunner.
His game. Kickball is called. It's going to come back. Or will remain, rather, Atlanta's possession. The shot clock comes back to 14.
I'm surprised that he didn't fit in with Don Nelson out there at Golden State.
Seemed to be a personality clash there.
Seems to be a lot of personality clashes.
Bibby to a rolling Smith, tries to dump it to Pachulia. Able to come up with it and get 2 out of it. I believe that's 8 straight field goals the Hawks have made. They lead at 22-14. They're shooting 67%. KG trying to find some room, and he does.
Well, they really have nobody to play KG, and definitely not Pachulia.
You don't think?
No. They'll beat him up. That's what they're going to try and do, is beat him up. Wear him down and lay on him, and have a big muscle guy like Pachulia.
Bibby's out and Crawford's in. Crawford blowing on his hands, licking his fingers out there. He's ready to shoot it. First chance he gets.
Well, he's down south. Those fingers will be warm all the time.
First free throw attempt by the Celtics tonight goes around. A 6-point game. KG stays out on Johnson, now runs back to Smith. Misses the shot. Rebound. Oh, Pachulia in the right spot. Pierce and Rondo fighting for the loose ball, and it ends up 2 for Atlanta.
Got to talk. I got it.
Rasheed, the 2.
Well, you got fouled, too.
Nice to see Rasheed getting a little action down low. Pierce defending Johnson. Johnson trying to take him off the bounce. Pierce doing a nice job staying with him. Wallace to jump out. Crawford from the corner. Tipped by Pachulia. Pachulia on the offensive glass again in a crowd, rejected by Rasheed, out of bounds. And we're going to get a timeout. $1:55 left to go here in the first quarter. Rashid on the baseline for two, but the Celtics trail 24-18.
Hey, I just landed. Yeah, I got your text. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, great, perfect. Really? Uh-huh. Are you kidding me?
Why does Southwest Airlines have so many flights a day?
All right, yeah, no, I'll be there.
That's why. With 25 daily nonstop flights from the Boston area to Baltimore, Washington, BWI, we're ready whenever. And at Southwest Airlines, bags fly free, so our low fares stay low. Grab your bag, it's on.
What are people willing to do for a Klondike bar now that it has a thicker, more chocolatey shell?
Oh, guess the next girl comes out of the gym.
That's the next woman that came out of the gym.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Find out what happens next at KlondikeManCave.com.
Before you ever love it, the Nissan Altima goes through over 5,000 tests. No wonder J.D. Power and Associates ranked it highest in initial quality. The new Nissan Altima, quality you can love.
We're back in a 6-point game. The Hawks are on top 24-18 with $1:55 to go in the first. Fans, it's that time of year again. It's your chance to select this year's 2010 NBA All-Stars, presented by T-Mobile. Be sure to vote for your favorite Celtic players online at Celtics.com or text your favorite player's last name to 69622. You could even win a trip to Dallas for this year's NBA All-Star game in the NBA 2K10 sweepstakes. Log on to Celtics.com or text in to cast your vote today. The TD Bank Wild Kids Clubhouse is a partnership between TD Bank, America's most convenient bank, and the Boston Celtics to bring children from non-profit youth organizations to home games at the TD Garden. Tonight we welcome Boy Scout Troop number 28 from Wenham, Massachusetts. Transportation provided, of course, by Limos by Liz. At TD Bank, we're committed to supporting the communities we serve by making a difference together. Let's go to our Simmons sideline guy. He's Greg Dickerson.
Jamal Crawford playing in his first season with the Atlanta Hawks. He's the team's second leading scorer. He also holds the distinction that no NBA player wants to be known by. He's the current active leader in games played, 606, without ever having played in a playoff game. I asked him about it tonight, and he said, listen, don't jinx me. He said, I've thought about it in every possible way you can think of. He's close friends with Brandon Roy, went to Roy's first playoff game last year. He said, I had absolute chills, and I wasn't even playing, so I can't imagine how I'm going to feel when I actually play in one for the first time. He's far away from Tom Van Arsdale. He is the leader all time, 929 games without a playoff appearance, guys.
Really? Tom Van Arsdale went 9? Wow, no kidding. Rashid misses a 3. Rebound controlled by Joe Smith. Tommy, the rebounding numbers right now, 12-3 in favor of the Hawks.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's just not good.
That's all I can say right now.
Really?
It's not good. I'll tell you when it's good.
Yeah. Crawford, little hesitation, kicks it to the corner. Williams right off the catch, misses. Pierce quickly ahead to Rondo. Daniels running the floor. Pierce thought about a 3. Goes inside instead to KG. Smith on him. They're old friends. Garnett trying to take a baseline, and we got a defensive 3-second violation is called on Joe Johnson.
Everybody and his uncle was in the paint on the weak side for the Hawks.
The Atlanta bench already in this game has more rebounds than the Celtics starting 5. Pierce will shoot the tee. quick chance to look at tonight's league leaders, brought to you by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. Member FDIC. The Celtics shooting 50% from the floor for the year. And they're at 60% so far tonight. The Hawks right there at 48, and the Suns 49. Three teams that we've seen in the last week. Boston at 60%. The Hawks are now down to 50. But they're taking 7 more shots than Boston. 22 to Celtics 15. Williams is out.
They have 5 offensive rebounds. Celtics have none.
Jeff Teague, a rookie, has checked into the game. Oh, strong move. Daniels to the bucket. Marquise heading back to Indiana with us late tonight. Play his Pacer team that he played for the last couple of years. That's a traveling violation on the rookie Teague. Kevin Garnett sends him a little message anyway and rejects the shot. Sheldon Williams is going to come into the game right now. 27 seconds left to go in the quarter.
For the Celtics, number 13, Sheldon Williams.
Rondo to the bench, using a little ice. These guys use a ton of ice over the course of the game. Rondo had 4 assists in 11 minutes.
And didn't take a shot.
No, he did not. Evans in to defend Pierce. About a little more than 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Pierce gets around Evans, and then Evans gives the foul. That's got to be 2.
Well, I had one to waste.
I know, but he waited a little too long there.
That's where the foul should have taken place.
Exactly.
And
Pierce will be at the line, shooting 2.
Mike Woodson had any hair, it would turn gray on plays like that.
All right. Now,
Mike has chosen to shave his head. So we never see that.
Yeah. You watch now. Williams is in the ball game. See if we get some offensive rebounds now.
The number is 12-4 as he comes in.
What's up?
Pierce can make it a 2-point game.
Get in there,
And he does. Gets the bounce. Hawks got 8 seconds to get a shot off. 6-0 run by the Celtics. There's Daniels given the foul the Celtics had to waste.
Celtics foul is on number 7, Mark.
Now Rondo will come back in for defensive purposes, and Eddie House comes out.
2 minutes. For the Celtics, number 9.
And Rondo's going to stick with
Crawford, I think?
Yeah.
Joe Johnson is coming back in. And he's coming in for Smith. Now he's coming in for Pachulia. Now Ray Allen's going to come back in for the Celtics to come in for Sheldon Williams. Both coaches now satisfied with the matchups they have on the floor. Evans will inbound into Smith. Whoa. Crawford gets it to the corner. Oh, good look by Johnson, and he missed it. Hawks did a good job to get a good shot, but they couldn't convert it. They've slipped down below the 50% mark. The Celtics shooting 60, but the Hawks, because of their rebounding advantage, have the early lead. 1 down, 3 to go on a Friday night at the TD Garden. Celtics 22, Hawks. Welcome back to the TD Garden here on a supposed to be wintry night a little bit later on. Not too bad outside right now. 24-22 as we're about to start the second quarter. Arguably the best player in the WNBA right there, Candace Parker. But when she's not Candace Parker in the WNBA, she's Mrs. Sheldon Williams with their newest arrival right there on her lap.
Let's take a look at the first quarter stats. They're presented by Ace Tickets. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Boston up to 63% shooting in that first quarter. The Hawks down to 48, but the Hawks getting 7 more shots than the Celtics because of that 12-4 edge and rebounds, 5-zip off the offensive glass. The Celtics have Wallace, Allen, House, Daniels, and Williams on the floor. It's Crawford, Teague, Smith, Pachulia, and Evans for Atlanta. Ray Allen, the only starter for either team on the floor right now, and he gets it. Pachulia chased him out by the three-point line. Ray checks the clock. Took it to the basket, and an offensive foul is called.
Call it on Williams.
Offensive foul on the Celtics.
Yep.
Number 13, Sheldon Williams. That is his first personal foul.
That's his first. Crawford the other way, picked up by Daniels. Pachulia sets the screen. Rasheed runs at him. Crawford. Whoa, that's a travel.
Let's take a look at Sheldon. Top of your screen.
Just kind of cleared the path. Celtics have hit 10 of their last 12 shots after starting the game 0 for 4. Teague defending Eddie House. Celtics get lucky. 7 on the clock. Ray is going to have to take it. Nope, gives it up to Rasheed. He will. Got it. Big 3 by Rasheed, and the Celtics have their first lead of the night at 25-24, and the crowd is suddenly in the game. 9-0 the run, and here comes Daniels. Marquise, Eddie House. Rebound all the way out to Wallace. Ray Allen got clearly grabbed. And the official just let it go. Got really upset. Into Rasheed. Big size advantage on Evans. Rebound banged around, and Teague has got it. Teague, nice lay down to Evans. Wallace made him change the shot a little bit. Pachulia up hard for the offensive rebound, and it'll be Hawk ball.
Pachulia hit the deck.
He did.
Left a
he
dent.
plays hard, that kid.
Left a dent.
Played for Doc for a year in Orlando.
Should have been Boston ball.
Should have been, and it cost him 2 as Crawford hits a baseline jumper. Teague chasing after House. Ray Allen kicks it to the basket.
Yeah. And Josh Smith, the shot blocker, is sitting on the bench right now. And they had both big men out on the perimeter.
Pachulia going hard to the basket, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Pachulia. Sheldon Williams took a shot. That's the second on Pachulia.
Let's take a look at Sheldon taking the blow.
For Atlanta, number 5, Josh
Whoop, he did.
to the game, replacing Zaza Pachulia.
Well, that's from your school right there, T. You always say, make the guy pay if he's going to step in and try to take a charge.
Make him think about the next time. But that was our guy getting hit. Our guy.
I just said it was your school of thought.
Well, it was.
Eddie. Sheldon on the offensive glass.
What'd I tell you?
He's still having a hard time with his left eye. Smith is back on the floor, and Teague commits the foul outside. Teague's dad, you may remember him, Tom. I remember him, Sean Teague. He played for Rick Pitino at BU. And I think you and I actually did one of his games.
Really?
Remember we did a couple of Rick Pitino's games when he was at BU?
I don't remember that. But
doing the games, or
I
don't remember Sean Teague? That's okay.
I don't remember his dad.
Daniels, good defensive play by Smith. At least the official thought so. That's a traveling violation. Another turnover on Crawford. And that's going to get us a timeout. It has slowed down a bit, but the Celtics are holding on to the lead by 1, 27-26, 8:52 to go in the half. Celtics hold on to a 1-point lead here, 27-26, 8:52 to go to halftime. Celtic fans, Modell Sporting Goods is excited to offer you a special discount. Now you can bring your ticket stub to any Modell Sporting Goods store within 7 days from the date of the game, and you'll get 15% off your total purchase of regular price merchandise. Now to find the nearest Modell Sporting Goods location, please visit Modell's.com. Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Boston Celtics. To our Simmons sidelines guy we go, Greg Dickerson.
Well, Sheldon Williams was the number 5 pick overall in the 2006 draft by the same Atlanta Hawks, but things just didn't work out in a year and a half in a Hawks uniform for Sheldon. Talking to Mike Woodson about it, he said it wasn't a problem with Sheldon. He said after his first year, we decided to bring in Al Horford. We decided to play him. Wasn't a knock at all against Sheldon. Sheldon looked at it as a problem with minutes. He said there just wasn't much consistency in my minutes. I go from playing a lot of minutes to almost none, so I just don't think I was given a fair shot. You look at his numbers that first year with the Hawks, he averaged 21 minutes a game in December and January, and then for some reason only averaged 8 minutes a game in the month of February, 12 in the month of March. Asked if this is a revenge game at all for him. He said no revenge at all. I've already played these guys before in a different uniform, guys.
A little better playing them in the green, though, I think, Greg, probably. Beats playing them in a Minnesota uniform. It stays House, Allen, Wallace, Daniels, and Williams. Sheldon taking it hard to the bucket, with the finish, and Horford clears it. It's in the middle of Teague. Teague, strong to the basket, came up with nothing but air. Smith, a jumping jack underneath, gets 2.
What was that? Went up in the air. Nobody touched the ball, I don't think. That was a...
Daniels, 2 and a foul. Teague picks it up.
Nice pass. Watch this pick, however, as Ray looks inside, and see the man was way late because there was a good pick, I believe, by Williams. And that's how this guy got free. And when a guy spreads the base and when he gets hit in the chest, falls back, instead of being a lineman in football trying to knock him down, you end up with the man never getting to the guy he's trying to get to.
Marquise Daniels with 5 points in 8 minutes off the bench. Celtics by 2. That matches their largest lead. Horford is stripped. Daniels in the middle of the break. Got Allen and House with him. Kicks it to Eddie. That's a long 2, but the Celtics go up 4.
But he had time. There was nobody with him. That'll get him off the snide, and he will.
Rasheed Wallace called for the foul outside on Smith.
Take a look at Eddie House now. They kick it out to Eddie. I just had a toe on a line, but all the time in the world to look at the hoop and get a rhythm in the shot.
Johnson.
Nice defense by Daniel.
Crawford misses deep, and Williams has got the rebound. Looking for an outlet. Has to get it himself and gives it to Ray Allen. Sets a screen, Williams does, rolls to the bucket. Nice play by Ray. Sheldon just unable to get it over the rim, and the Hawks cooperate with their 6th turnover of the second quarter.
Well, that was a great play, and Williams just couldn't sneak it over the front of the rim, but Smith outraced Rasheed up the floor.
Kendrick Perkins is going to come back in the Boston line as we approach the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. Eddie again. (19-7) the rebounding numbers in favor of Atlanta. No. Doc looking for a 3-second call. Like he's screaming for a 3-second call.
Yeah, well, it was more like 5 seconds, Doc.
Marquise Daniels picks up his second personal foul. Sheldon Williams will come out. Sheldon 2 rebounds in 5 minutes. Numbers for Smith so far this year. Second in block shots. Weakest part of his game on display right there, free throw shooting. Other than that, he's a pretty complete player. He may not be the greatest one-on-one defender, but sure blocks a lot of shots.
He is a fabulous athlete for a guy his size. He is fast.
Right about at his average, 50% at the line. Celtics play 3. Perkins and Allen, the 2 starters on the floor right now with House, Daniels, and Wallace. Gray kicks it to the corner. Rashid for 3. Rebound on Williams. Hawks are back to their starting 5. Horford. Bibby right off the catch. No. Rebound Rashid looking, finding Daniels. Carrying is called. That's amusing.
Let's see.
No, that's not a carry. Not in this league.
Not in the NBA.
No, no. Maybe in
not what Joe Johnson's doing.
Maybe in CYO, but not in the NBA.
Joe Johnson is practically taking it from underneath to over the top.
Speak of the devil. Knocks down a fall away, 32-31. And we are going to get a timeout. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Game kind of plodding along right now. 32-31, Celtics by 1. Back in a 1-point game, Celtics are on top 32-31, 5:40 to go in the half. Join us Thursdays at 8 o'clock for Celtics Now. Michael Hawley takes you behind closed doors for an exclusive insider look at the green. Celtics Now, Thursdays at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet, presented by Arbella Insurance. And a quick reminder, the most convenient way to reach Tommy and me is by emailing a question to Tommy and Mike's mailbag on csnne.com. Your question could be used live in the pregame show or on the website. The website, that's what we did earlier tonight. Those are good. Those are good. Those are good little shows we did.
You have great questions.
Those are good shows. Anyway, send us some of the questions. He'll answer them. I read them. He answers them. It's kind of like one of these deals, like the old Johnny Carson. Yeah, exactly.
The answer is, the question is.
Yeah, it's the most convenient way to talk directly to the two of us. It's brought to you by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. You send in the questions. We'll try to answer them. Pierce.
Oh, he did a little rhythm dancing there on Josh Smith.
Pierce is 3 for 6, 8 points. He's the game's leading scorer. Smith has 7. Kevin Garnett's looking to get back in next whistle. Here's Smith. And now he's got 9.
Yeah, he backdoored him, and there was no alley-oop. Rashid was riveted on Bibby.
Smith in the passing lane. Gets it to Bibby. Leaves it for Horford. Nice look for Smith. And no, an offensive foul. Pierce stepped in and took it from Horford. That's the 10th Atlanta turnover.
Well, here's your leading scorer.
Check in with Greg.
Yeah, my couple things from Doc. He told his guys right now they're taking a lot of jump shots, but we have to do a better job of keeping them off the glass and keeping them away from second chance opportunities. And as we watch, Rajon Rondo took the ice off of his pinky finger, was flexing that hand of his, didn't seem to grimace, didn't look like he was in any pain at all. Talked with Doc Rivers, and Doc sent him back out.
Yeah, I'm watching him now. He doesn't seem to be. He's flexing his hand a little bit, his left hand. Bibby comes up shooting. Rebound Perkins. Burke has 3 of the 9 Boston rebounds in the game. I tell you, Ray Allen is taking the ball to the hoop more this year than I've seen him do in years.
Well, they're really keeping a man right on him the whole time.
Johnson misses outside.
In the offense, you know, where they swing the ball, he's not open anymore. They're not using his man for the team defense.
Hawks came in right at the top of the league and points in the paint. Celtics with the advantage so far. Perk using his bulk. Oh, good block. Hey, Horford may be undersized, but he's tough. Bibby has to pull it back up. Gets Horford on a cut, though. 36-35. Hawks led by 8 early. Celtics came back to take the lead, and then it's been nip and tuck pretty much ever since maybe late first quarter. Rondo, no, we got an offensive foul. It's called on Perkins.
Offensive foul on the Celtics, number 43, Kendrick Perkins. That is his first personal foul.
That's the first. Let's take a look at this.
For Atlanta, number 27, Zaza Pachulia replaces Al Horford.
Horford sold that one nicely. He's out of the game right now. Pachulia in.
You can sell these officials anything. You want to sell them a Brooklyn Bridge? We'll go in at halftime. They'll buy it.
Johnson. That's a big time shot.
I'll tell you, Ray tried to overplay him and force him to his left, and he still went right.
Pierce got Smith on him. They go to Garnett. Garnett trying to take advantage of a mismatch with Williams. Smith comes to help out. Back out to Pierce. Unable to shake Johnson. He got a piece of it from behind. Perkins got blocked. Smith out of the pack. Garnett tips it, but Smith gets it ahead to Williams. Williams to Johnson. The 2. And the Hawks have a 3-point lead at 39-36. Six nothing run by Atlanta here that has quieted the TD Garden crowd. KG. Garnett's 5 of 6 from the floor, and he's got 10 points. First Celtic in double figures here. 1-point game, 39-38. Bibby leaves it nicely. Pachulia, hoping to get contact, did not. Perkins, I make that. Garnett comes out of there with it. Rondo on the break, lays it down to Pierce. Gets him on the feet at the TD Garden, and a timeout is taken by the Hawks. Maybe the best fast break of the season for the Celtics. Certainly one of the best finishes. Boston by 1.
I'm Greg Dickerson here in the Comcast HD Zone. Back to Mike and Tommy courtside in a moment with Sean McAdam from CSN and E.com, our baseball guy, fresh off the general managers meetings in Chicago. Anything surprise you out there, Sean?
Well, I think we're going to see another winter where teams pare back payroll, Greg, not spend a lot of money. That's going to probably drive down a lot of free agent asking prices. You hear about teams shedding payroll rather than adding it. That could help the Red Sox get Jason Bay back here because there may not be much of a market elsewhere.
Okay, will John Lackey join him? Because that seems to be the hot rumor, at least of today.
Yeah, I know they did meet with the agent, but I think that's one of those things where the Red Sox typically do their due diligence on all these guys. Remember, they did it with CC Sabathia a year ago. I think they explore, they talk, they're careful about it, but it is not their MO to spend a lot of money on a free agent starting pitcher.
Take John Lackey out to dinner and say thank you, but no thank you. Sean, we'll read you on CSN and E.com. All the best information baseball-wise from Sean on our website. Mike, Tommy, let's go back downstairs to you.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. Welcome to Sean. Welcome to David Ortiz, who's in the house again tonight. He was at Wednesday's game. He is here courtside again tonight in a nice Celtic green sweater. Nice touch there.
CSNNE.com is your home for New England sports, now featuring our new and improved staff of writers, including Tommy Curran on the Patriots, Sean McAdam on the Red Sox, and introducing Sherrod Blakely on the Celtics. Log on now, CSNNE.com. You can find it all on there. You can find our mailbag on there, too. That is time well spent with the mailbag.
Well, let's take a look at this great fast break. Outlet goes to Rondo. They're already ahead of Rondo. And there's 4 guys attacking one. And Rondo finds the best finisher, Paul Pierce.
Interesting stat. The Celtics have held Utah on Wednesday night, and the Hawks through most of the first half here tonight to a combined 0 for 16 from beyond the arc. Not a single three-pointer against Boston in the last 2 games. Hawks really do battle on the glass, offensive or defensive. This game update's brought to you by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Pachulia picking up his 3rd foul there as we check out Paul Pierce in double figures with 10 along with Kevin Garnett. Horford leading the way in rebounds, and Rondo with 5 assists for the Celtics. That's our Amica game update. Jason Collins, the veteran, is going to come into the game. Pierce looking inside at Garnett. Perkins using his size for 2. And Doc up applauding the play.
They forced a mismatch, and they utilized it.
Celtics responding here with a 6-0 run after being down 3. Williams stops that.
2 years ago, Williams really had a heck of a playoff.
Yeah, he sure did. He's a good player. He's going to be a terrific player again. He's only 23 years old. Perkins trying to keep it alive, but Williams comes down with it. Boston should get 1 more possession here, borrowing an offensive rebound, and the Hawks are pretty good at that, but there's a 5-second, almost 6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
Well, I had one to waste.
On number 9, Rajon Rondo. That's his first personal.
Stay tuned for our McDonald's halftime report. Gary and Donnie are standing by. They'll have a breakdown of tonight's first half, and Kevin Walsh will have a Sportsnet Central update. That's all coming your way at halftime. And the Hawks are going to take a 20-second timeout here. Good chance for us to remind you of what tonight's NBA news is. Brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Interesting little story came out of Miami last night. LeBron James is leading a move to retire the number 23 league-wide. Now we're going to talk about that with Tommy in a second here. Also on the news sheet, Byron Scott, first NBA coach fired this season. His Hornets were just 3-6. They did not look like a happy team when they were in here about a week ago. Our next Celtic game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Indiana. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. All right, LeBron James has said that he will give up his number 23 at the end of this year, take a new number, and he thinks that number 23 should be retired league-wide. No one should ever wear it again. It should be Michael Jordan's number, and only Michael Jordan's number forever. Unvarnished. What are your thoughts here?
Hooey! Are you kidding me, LeBron? And then he wants to take number 6, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Put number 6 up there. Nobody could ever wear number 6. Then I'll think about 23.
Hawks off the foul will get a chance for the final shot. Johnson hangs, couldn't do it. It's taken away by Rondo. Lets it fly. Oh, couple of chances at it.
That's the end of the first half, and so we'll the score.
Well, we told you off the top, anytime the Celtics and Hawks are in the building, you just got to roll out the ball and you get yourself a good game. That's what we got here tonight. Here's Rondo's shot from the other side of half court. Gets the front rim. Gets the clock. Nearly got it on the way back. Let's check in with Greg.
Ray, new defense would be important, especially against a team like Atlanta that likes to get up and down and score. Like what you guys have done defensively in this first half?
Well, we could be a little bit better. I think offensive rebounds right now is killing us. For the most part, we get them off the glass, we'll be able to run a little bit more.
This Hawks team overall, obviously you got a chance to see a lot of them 2 years ago in the playoffs. How have they improved? How are they a superior team to where they were in that playoff series?
I think from what I see earlier, they have a couple more veterans coming off the bench, some guys that can improve their depth a little bit. But for the most part, it's the same team, athletic. They're young, so definitely a lot of energy out there on the floor.
I think Mike had mentioned during the broadcast that he feels you're going to the paint, to the hole more this year already than any other time in your career. You get that feeling?
You say that every year, too. That's funny. I'm just trying to take what defense gives me. So, you know, they run out of me. I'm trying to get to the hole.
Ray, appreciate it. See you second half. Ray Allen, 4 points for the Celtics. They're up by 1 in this one. Let's go across the street to the Ace Ticket Studios and Gary Tangway. Gary?
All right, Greg Dickerson, thank you very much. You know, typical Celtics, Donnie. Off to a slow start in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, they grab the lead. A Rashid 3 puts them up by 1, and that's the way the deal is at the break.
Yeah, I think for no other reason than just to try to get it going. You know, try to find guys, move the basketball. But teams seem to come out on fire against the Celtics of late.
It is McDonald's halftime, and it's coming up next. Donnie's going to break down the interior play of the Celtics. We'll be back from the Ace Ticket Studio right after this. Friday night at Causeway, we're in the Ace Ticket Studio as the Celtics have a 1-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks across the street at the Garden, 42-41. Welcome to McDonald's Celtics halftime. Gary Tangway along with Donnie Marshall. Donnie, let's get right to it. First, we want to break down the interior play of the Celtics. KG and Rashid caught your eye.
Yeah, doing a good job. You know, and we know both these teams score a lot of points in the paint, but the Celtics really attacking it in the half court here. Good job by KG. That's your 7-footer, Gary, keeping the dribble alive, dribbling around Pachulia, getting the N1. And then here, Rasheed Wallace right off the bench. Love to get your guys touches in the paint area, high percentage shots. You have to attack Joe Smith in the interior of the Atlanta Hawks.
And here the Celtics are off and running. Great play by KG. Pierce is going to be on the other end as he finished with 10 points. Strong to the hoop, puts the Celtics up by 1.
Yeah, set up by the defense. Get good defensive stops. It creates an opportunity to really to start your offense. And the Hawks, they're a team that likes to run, but most teams that like to run do not like for you to run on them.
Pierce and KG with 10 apiece. Joe Johnson, he's got 10 with the Atlanta Hawks. How about some blocks? 3 by Atlanta, 1 right there by Josh Smith. And this guy's always tough to guard. Joe Johnson on the other end for Atlanta. Stand by, a Sportsnet Central update with Kevin Walsh is next.
Welcome back to the TD Garden. Celtics leading the Hawks by 1. I'm joined by Bob DiMuccio from CEO of Amica Insurance and Sandy Fenwick from Children's Hospital. Now, Bob, you partnered with Comcast Sportsnet and with Children's Hospital to do some wonderful things this year with Children's Hospital. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all about the kids, and this is our second year. It's been a very successful program, and what I really want to do is turn it over to Sandy, because the question I'd like her to answer for the audience is, what can the corporate community do for Children's Hospital?
There are so many ways, Bob. First of all, thanks to Amica for all that you've done for us. But there's so many ways that the corporate community can help Children's. We take care of kids who are the sickest kids who come to us as a court of last resort, all the way to keeping kids out of the hospital in the community where we're taking care of kids with asthma and obesity and diabetes. So from one end to the other, many, many different ways that you can contribute to the care of these children.
Tell us some of the ways that, whether it's in the corporate community or whether it's just the average person out there, how they can help.
Anyone can contribute. There are resources. This unrestricted resources are the most important gifts we can receive. They go to helping where no other source of resource is available, whether it's to support research or to support the care or to support something that is not really covered by insurance. It would be tremendously helpful to us.
Bob, you hand out the Amica game ball with Tommy Heitz's signature on it every single game. A terrific person to be associated with, along with Children's Hospital, Tommy Heinz.
Exactly right. That is exactly right. And, you know, I made a visit to the hospital this past spring. It's an amazing place. I would encourage members of the corporate community or the community to visit the hospital and see the fine work they're doing. It's great.
Bob, Sandra, God bless you, and thank you for all the wonderful work that you've done with Amica Insurance and especially with Children's Hospital. Thanks for being partners and friends of ours. Second half action straight ahead with Mike Gorman and Tommy Heinz and Paul Pierce. He leads the way, 10 points in the first half. Kevin Garnett net. He's got 10 as well. Celtics lead the Hawks by 1. Second half action straight ahead here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tonight's first half replay brought to you by AAA. Your license to save. To join AAA, just go to AAA.com. Celtics got a 1-point lead here at the half, but they are being out-rebounded 25-13. 8 of those 25 offensive rebounds for the Hawks. So despite a lot of turnovers by Atlanta, they're still in the game.
Yeah, what's going on here is the Celtics are playing their perimeter game, stretching the defense, and what happens on the other end, they're piling 2-3 guys underneath on the offensive board. They're banging 3 guys. I think if the Celtics send one more guy back on the boards, they'll be able to rebound and beat people up the floor for easy baskets.
All right, let's see if they do that here come the second half. Top 3 scoring leaders are brought to you by Comcast Triple Play. Garnett and Pierce in double figures with 10 apiece. Perkins with 6. Johnson's got 10. Smith has got 9. Horford's got 8. Greg's got 7. Oh, there he is. What do you got, Greg?
You talk about rebounding. It was priority number 1 from the coaches to the players at halftime, especially matching up, doing a better job of keeping the Hawks off the boards and off of second chance opportunities. As Tom Thibodeau said, listen, this Hawks team sends not 1 or 2 guys, but all 5 guys crashing to the boards. We have to do a better job of picking up guys and keeping them off the glass offensively. Felt that the ball was sticking a little bit too much. That there wasn't great ball movement, and there wasn't great movement in players in offensive space areas as well. And one thing the Celtics want to do better in the second half is get out and run. But as the coach has said, before we can run, we got to do a better job of stopping the Hawks defensively, guys.
All right, thanks, Greg. Celtic Suite Nights are on sale right now for each and every Celtic home game, available to groups of up to 20. It includes great seats in your own private suite, a welcome for your group up on the Jumbotron, special catering options, and more. Bring your suite ticket stub to any Modell's, and you get 15% off regular price merchandise. Call 866-GO-CELTICS or visit Celtics.com. It's all courtesy of Modell's. Celtics come into this game tonight off wins over New Jersey and Utah, 2 games in which they were out-rebounded. Pierce taking it to the basket, trying to lay it down to Rondo, who tracks it down in the corner. 7 on the Amica shot clock. KG realizes it and buries about an 18-footer. Garnett is 6 of 8 for 12 points. Just 1 rebound.
Well, he's out 15 feet and further out.
Well, he's been a first half team so far this year. We'll see if that holds here tonight. Johnson. Horford misses, and there's Garnett's second board. Rondo. He has only attempted 1 shot, and that was that attempt to beat the buzzer at the end of the first half. Perkins. Rejected by Smith. Williams kicks it to Bibby. Back on top to Johnson. Steps into a 3. Nope. Rebound Perkins. 6 on the game for Perk. Next closest rebounder for the Celtics has 2. Nice crossover by Pierce. And a foul.
By Paul Pierce, what a masterful job. He draws Smith on him, and then Smith tries to run him off the shot, and Pierce made sure that he got a piece of him before he took the shot. Now you can drive on this team.
Celtics are 3 of 6 at the line tonight. The Hawks are 3 of 5. Fouls have not been an issue in this game. Williams off the catch, watches Pierce fly by. Airmails the shot. Up ahead to Pierce. Bibby trying to catch him, does. And Pierce will get to the line for 2.
Well, this is a nice play here. Here's Pierce out in front. And there's the foul by Bibby, and of course he didn't go to hurt him.
No, it's a good foul by Bibby.
Yeah.
He prevented Pierce from getting the ball up off the glass, which is what you're trying to do in a situation like that. Celtics' largest lead of the game, 47-41.
One thing that hasn't happened so far is Joe Johnson hasn't taken over this game. They haven't really gone to him to
Celtics on a 12-2 run to get to this point. Ray Allen is called for the foul. Ray didn't like it.
Ray Allen, that's his second personal, first team foul.
8th foul called on the Celtics. The Hawks have had 11 called on them. That was the 9th foul on the Celtics. The foul is on Perk.
Celtics foul is on number 43, Kendrick Perkins.
That's 2 on Perk.
Second team foul.
But Julia has 3 down on the Hawk bench. He's the only player in the game with 3. Backdoor cut by Johnson. Gets 2 out of it.
Yeah, you got to talk on that one.
Yeah.
You can't just let him set a pick in the corner and go for a layup.
Perkins just picked up another foul. That's 3 on Perk now.
You know, I didn't see this thing, but they call fouls on Perk that they wouldn't call on Pachulia, or let's see what he does here. I didn't see it. Give me a break. Yeah, you see Horford that time.
Johnson can't get by Ray Allen. Good defensive job by Allen. Good defensive job by Allen. Johnson just too good offensively.
Well, I spoke too soon. Joe Johnson is getting involved as the go-to guy.
6 of 12 now in the game. 14 points to Johnson. Pierce misses a 3. Johnson in the middle on the break gets it ahead to Smith. Smith to Horford. Missed the shot. Tipped, controlled by Smith. Bibby for 3. We get a tie game at 48. Hawks showing a toughness here that hasn't really been present with this team in years past. Certainly a lot of skill, but not a toughness. But they have really responded very well after getting down early in the second half to come back and tie it at 48.
Well, what they've done is really hang with this unit, and they've played together, so they trust each other. That's why they're playing tough. Now, each one knows what their role is on the ball club, much like the Celtics. It's not something that they just got introduced to. They've grown into how they're playing, and they've got some wily veterans like Bibby. And Joe Johnson, at this point, is still a youngish type player, but he's got plenty enough experience to carry a ball club.
Johnson's 28, Smith is 23, Horford's 23, Williams is 23, Bibby is 31. Paul Pierce 6 of 8 now at the line. That's most free throws he's had since opening night. Rondo with the rebound. Here he comes. His 3rd. Skips it to Pierce. Perkins down in the lane now. Celtics still have 15 on the shot clock, under 8 to go in the 3rd. Pierce bounce pass, and Perkins gets fouled.
And let's foul on number 24.
Marvin Williams picks it up, his first. That's the 14th foul. And Perkins going to be at the line for 2. The Celtics up by 2. Perkins getting his first free throw attempts of the night. Brook has always played well against the Hawks in 16 career games, shooting 71% against this team from the field.
Ray Allen's over there talking to one of the officials about Bibby setting picks. And Bibby is, you know, the one they call on Perk. Well, Bibby is taking 2-3 steps to try and get in the guy's way after the man gets over the pick, and they won't call it.
Perkins makes his free throws. The Celtics now 9 of 12. Up quick to Smith. Horford with the miss. Back to Smith. Too hard. Maybe too soft, actually, off the glass. Rondo to Garnett. Missed it. Perkins did not.
Two big guys hustling. See, you can run this team. If 5 guys are jamming the offensive boards, you get a rebound, the top of your defense can take off.
Bibby is fouled. Celtics on a 6-0 run here after the score was tied at 48.
Take a look at the Celtics big guys. Pierce comes up with the rebound, and Perk is already ahead of the pack. And not far behind is KG. That's what you want to do. And the quicker you get up the floor and take the shot with effort like those 2 big guys produced, you're going to get clean-up rebounds like they just did. Didn't I say? Get the ball and go.
You did.
When did I say that?
Just about every night for the last 30 years.
No, but they can in this game. There's no reason why they can't.
Bibby averaging a career low 10 points a game, now has 8 tonight, and Celtics lead is 4 with the ball as we're approaching 7 minutes to go in the third. Pierce wants it. They clear aside. Pierce goes hard to the basket. Johnson comes away with it. Bibby squares up and knocks down a 3. So Bibby suddenly with 5 consecutive points. And here we are back in a 1-point game. 6:50 to go in the third. Boston by 1. We're in a 1-point game with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the third. 54-53. Mike Gorman along with Tom Heinsohn and Greg Dickerson. Glad you could join us tonight. And we always, on Friday nights, have Tommy Unvarnished. And tonight, we want to talk about 6 men. Celtics, the originators of the concept, the idea of maybe having a guy who could be a starter but have him come off the bench. Started with Frank Ramsey. John Havlicek, of course, many years as a 6th man for this basketball team. Had some of his greatest moments coming off the bench for Boston. Paul Silas did some wondrous things for you. As we look at some of these great 6 men, my question is, where does Rasheed fit into this whole thing?
Well, what you're hoping for from a 6th man is that he can impact the game as soon as he steps on the floor. And it doesn't have to be in any one particular way. It can be a rebounder, can be a shooter like Ramsey was in Havlicek, a rebounder like Silas. And Rasheed right now is an impact player when he gets off the bench because he immediately stretches the other team's defense, and it's the second line defense. So they're not accustomed to playing and rotating quite as well. So Rasheed really can impact the game.
Pierce underneath off the nice feed from Rondo. 7th assist from Rondo, 18 points for Pierce. Boston goes back up 3. Bibby. Johnson one-on-one with Pierce. Perkins comes to help. Comes back again, almost got a piece of the shot. Tipped by Garnett, but out to Bibby. Over to Crawford, who doesn't hesitate, and gets a round-the-rim 3 to tie the game at 56.
He's a potential tough sixth man.
Yeah, without question.
Because he can really shoot it.
Ray Allen again taking it to the basket.
Yep. They'll be telling people to play underneath the picks after a while.
Yeah.
He keeps doing that, and then he'll start sitting behind the picks and getting the outside shots.
Skip to the corner. Crawford again. Missed that one. Rebound Perkins. Has 8 for Perk. Garnett got Bibby on him. Leaves it for Rondo. Rondo. 7 on the shot clock. Gets a screen from Garnett. Fakes it. Takes it. Rebound Garnett. Back out to Rondo again. This time he skips it to Ray Allen. Misses the 3, and the foul is going to be on Joe Johnson underneath, trying to walk Kevin Garnett off the rebound.
Number 2, Joe Johnson, and it's his first personal. Atlanta is over the limit.
And the Hawks are over the limit, so KG is going to get to the free throw line. He's been there once tonight. Kevin has really come around over the last 3 games, averaging 18 points a game, 8 rebounds.
Well, he had to adjust.
Oh, yeah.
After being out last year and get a feel for the game. And the normal thing is you test that injury to see if it's going to hold up. You don't want to overextend yourself. And all of a sudden you're back playing and forget the injury entirely.
Celtics now with twice as many free throw attempts as the Hawks. We haven't seen that in a long time. Washington's had their problems getting to the line this year.
Well, they're going to the hoop. Yes, they're running the Celtics off the 3.
Crawford able to kick it to Bibby, and Bibby knocks it down from the corner, a deep 2. But Bibby now has 13, and the Hawks hang around down 2. Bibby scored 10 points in this 3rd quarter. Bibby the up quick to Smith. Oh, that was a good pass. That had eyes, that pass.
Well, that's the fastest forward in the league. And KG took the shot, and Smith just took off.
Tied again at 60. Ray Allen, the 2.
Well, now they're playing underneath the pick, and Ray spotted it, takes the outside shot. He's got Crawford defending him, so.
Johnson answers with 3 on the other end.
Well, this is some game.
Yeah, it really is. 17 for Johnson. Hawks go up by 1. Celtics have defeated the Hawks 7 straight times, and Rob has written in the Atlanta newspapers how big a game this was for the Hawks to show who they were and who they have become. Crawford, 2. So Crawford now with 7 off the bench. And Doc is going to take a 20-second timeout as the Hawks have opened up a 3-point lead. A little more than 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd. And Paul Pierce, who was holding his left knee off of that last timeout, is now going to head to the locker room with Eddie Lacerte. Paul went down hard. We saw it ourselves during the break. Here it is now. We'll try to show it to you. It appears he gets his feet tangled right here. And it was almost like there was a pull on his leg. You could see it a little bit as he went out of the shot to the left. He came up hobbling and has not been the same since. We're going to take another look from another angle. It sounds funny right there, and it's almost like as he tries to stretch out, you can see his foot was wrapped up with Josh Smith's foot. And whether he pulled something, we don't know. Greg will be on top of that downstairs, but he has gone to the locker room right now with trainer Ed Lacerte. Rasheed Wallace, Marquise Daniels are into the game along with Rondo Perkins and Ray Allen. Celtics, after playing 3 halves where they held the opposition to 0 for 16 from beyond the arc, have given up 4 3-pointers to Atlanta here in the last 5 minutes. Allen's pass is deflected, picked off by Johnson. Hawks the ball in the lead. They get it to Crawford. Crawford comes up, shoot. Good follow by Horford. Horford now with a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. 67-62, the Atlanta lead is 5. Over the top to Perk for 2. Perk now has a dozen. Rondo, who hasn't scored in the game, has 9 assists.
Well, Rondo's only taken 1 shot, and that was a buzzer beater.
We got a timeout taken by the Hawks. We'll take it 2:11 left to go in the third. 67-64 Hawks. Tonight's It's Real replay is sponsored by Wendy's, where you know when it's real.
Well, there is Smith taking off, and Bibby hits him right on the money. So he ended up at the top of the defense. And watch Horford right now as they allow him to slide inside. And he will take advantage of that.
David Ortiz having a little conversation with Al Horford. It was a friendly conversation. Trying to find somebody in the crowd that Al was pointing out to him. Celtics just 1 of 11 from beyond the arc, and that has cost them. They're shooting 58% from inside the arc. Johnson across the lane. 2.
What a shot that was.
19 in the game for Johnson, 8 for 16 from the floor. Final 2 minutes here of the third. It is a 5-point Atlanta lead. Ray Allen back to Rasheed. Comes up, shoot. Nope. Crawford off the bounce. Trying to force it into Smith. Good hands in there by Sheldon Williams to knock it away. Daniels keeps the dribble alive and then lost it. Here comes Smith. Fouled by Rasheed. Greg, what's going on with Paul Pierce?
Bruised left knee for the captain. Right now he's resting it inside the Celtics locker room. I'm told questionable as to whether he will return or not. So I'm told exactly may return to this game, but right now he is resting in that locker room with that bruised knee, guys.
Okay.
Well, Celtics right now desperately need somebody that will take it to the hoop. Now, and Pierce has always been that guy. And the guy that can do it is Daniels and Ray. So let's see if they can really get aggressive on the offense.
Evans is in, and Johnson's going to get a rest here around the court, as it would appear. He sits down with a game-high 19. Pierce has 18 in the Celtic locker room right now. Hawks' biggest lead of the first half was 8. They're up 6 right now. Rasheed looking to post up Smith. They get it into him. Nice pass to Williams. Williams in traffic for 2.
Good up fake. Nice pass by Wallace.
Sure was. Crawford.
Well, when Rasheed is down on the box, good things happen. You watch this. In it goes. He immediately knows that that Shelton was open.
Crawford makes the first. Here's tonight's legal seafood trivia question. Remember, if it isn't fresh, it isn't legal. What 4 teams did Doc Rivers play for in his NBA career? I'll have that answer for you in the fourth quarter. That's our legal seafood trivia question. Again, if it isn't fresh, it isn't legal. Crawford's got 9 off the bench now. Daniels, nicely done.
There you go.
Crawford looking for it. Missed it. Rebound controlled by Ray Allen. Ray up the middle. Gets it to Daniels. Again, Marquise knifes his way in for 2. Back-to-back hoops for Marquise.
Good pass by Eddie.
9 off the bench for Daniels, 4 of 5 shooting in 13 minutes. Shot clock and game clock about a second and a half difference. Bibby gets a good look. Can't make it. Rebound to Ray Allen. They got some time here. Ray, a runner, didn't get it off. Didn't go in anyway. Once again, we told you, get the Hawks, get the Celtics in the same building. Just got to roll it out there. They'll play a good basketball game. We've got one here tonight. Paul Pierce hoping to come back from this fourth quarter. The Hawks lead by 2 with 12 to go here at the TD Garden. Tonight, the Celtics and Atlanta in a good one. The Hawks right now are leading by 2. Tonight's Amica game ball, autographed by Tommy Heinsohn, will be awarded to a young Celtics fan and Children's Hospital Boston. Amica Insurance will also donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston on behalf of that young fan. Amica, it's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Paul Pierce is back on the Celtic bench. That is a good sign. Doesn't seem to be any unusual wrappings.
No, he's got a knee brace on.
Yeah, he does.
That's not part of his normal equipment.
No, I know, but it's not... All right. Stats to 3 are brought to you by Ace Tickets. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. It is Johnson, Crawford, Pachulia, Evans, and Smith. And Crawford hits again. He, Bibby, and Johnson combined for 28 of the Hawks' 31 third-quarter points. Got 11 off the bench now. As we mentioned, came into the game averaging nearly 18 a game off the bench. Eddie House looking to answer that short. Rebound all the way out to Pachulia. 17 straight games, he tried to say. The Hawks have won when leading after 3. Oh, Smith, that's a big offensive rebound and putback. Celtics just getting wasted on the glass here.
Eddie ended up having to block out Smith. That's not going to work.
Around plus 15 in rebounds. Rashid gets 2.
I just keep dumping it inside. They have nobody that's going to play Rashid or Garnett.
And here's Paul Pierce coming in with that knee brace, so apparently he's feeling like he's okay. There is numbers 18 leading the Celtics in scoring. Johnson the leading scorer in the game with 19. Joe Smith picking up that foul. So it's House, Williams, Pierce, Daniels, and Wallace. Looking for contact there and just kind of fumbled it away as Smith held his ground. Crawford doesn't hesitate. Misses deep. Pachulia slaps the rebound out to Johnson. Johnson gets in the paint. Crawford gives it up to Smith. The veteran takes it and makes it.
Well, the defense of the Celtics is breaking down big time tonight.
78-72.
People are driving where they want to drive to, and
Daniels defended by Evans. He's a pretty good defender. And the foul's going against Rashid.
Offensive foul on the Celtics, number 30.
It's a fourth on Rashid.
And it's his fourth personal foul.
I don't know what happened, but he hit the deck.
On the Celtics, number 43, Kendrick Perkins replaces Sheldon Williams.
Yeah, well, that's his reputation. That was a reputation foul.
Crawford. And Doc has seen enough. He's going to take a timeout. Atlanta has matched their largest lead of the game. Crawford's got 13 off the bench. The Hawks 8-2, outscoring the Celtics 50-72, down 8 to the Hawks. Comcast Sportsnet is your home for unbiased opinion, and who's more opinionated than Michael Felger? Join us Sundays at 10. We'll wrap up your sports weekend on Sports Sunday. Let's check in with our Simmons Sidelines guy.
Mike, on Wednesday, we showed you this T-shirt. It was helped designed by Ray Allen. Part of the proceeds goes towards finding a cure for diabetes. Ray Allen, it signifies his trip through a basketball lifetime. You can go to museclothing.com, M-U-Z-E, museclothing.com. I'm with his better half, Shannon. Shannon, there's a huge event at the Seaport Hotel tomorrow night. I know tickets are sold out, but how can people still help out?
People can visit www.joslin.org to support the Joslin Center's High Hopes Gala for Research for a Cure. People can still come down, support the cocktail hour, bid on auction items, or visit the website, get information about the symptoms, and help support finding a cure for diabetes.
Joslin.org and museclothing.com to help eradicate diabetes. And also, as Shannon told me, if you have a young child, some of the warning signs of diabetes are very similar to that of the flu. So check out Joslin.org for more information. Guys, let's go back to you.
All right, thanks very much, and good luck to Shannon and Ray with that great cause that they spend so much of their time with. Hawks are going to extend full court pressure now. They got Pachulia, Crawford, Evans, Smith, and Johnson on the floor. Rondo obviously back in with the ball for the Celtics with Perkins, Daniels, Wallace, and Pierce. Marquise and Mulaney. Pulled down by Smith. 5 rebounds for Smith off the bench.
He caught the disease.
40-23, the rebounding number tonight.
Well, that's the difference in the game. So look at,
Perkins got the block, but also got the foul. 4th on Perk. Kevin Garnett's coming back in for the Celtics here. 8:34 to go in the game.
First team foul.
Comes in for Rashid.
Rashid did his job.
Wallace goes to the bench, 3 of 6, 7 points, and a couple of rebounds. Pachulia hits the first. Here's the answer to tonight's Legal Seafood Trivia question. Which 4 teams did Doc Rivers play for in his NBA career? Go ahead.
Atlanta?
Yes.
New York?
Yes.
The Spurs?
Yes. The Clippers.
The Clippers?
Yeah. And Larry Brown was out there. He was with the Clippers.
I missed that one.
Yeah. Hawks got their biggest lead in the game right now, 10 points. That's our Legal Seafood Trivia question. Doc is still the all-time assist leader in Atlanta. Rondo. Garnett saves it.
Tommy point.
But the loose ball ends up in Johnson's hands. Garnett the foul.
On number 5, Kevin Garnett. That's his first personal, second team foul.
8:09 to go. Hawks by 10 and the ball. Crawford.
Oh, wow.
Too easy, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just a little pick and he walked the guy right back down.
But Julian able to get back to Garnett. The Celtics had a mismatch. Good look by Garnett, though. And Perkins.
Oh, they're going to call a foul on Perkins. The guy grabbed him.
That's a technical foul on Perkins.
Let's see what happened. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break.
9-point game, 7:42 to go. Hawks ball.
Well, Crawford is in there at the point guard spot now. Now Rondo could go right by Crawford. And he could go out there and deal with
Johnson, little hesitation move, hangs, no. Rebound, Smith again. Crawford, and Rondo's going to be called for the reach-in. Third on Rondo. That's the third team foul. Bibby back in, Evans out. Bibby will inbound right in front of the Boston bench. Into Crawford. Daniels will defend him. Crawford checks the clock. Still plenty of time. Brings it to Johnson. Johnson. Pierce staying with them. And the Celtics come up with a turnover. Rondo ahead of the field for two.
Need a few more of those.
First basket for Rondo tonight. Crawford able to save it. Now they got Daniels for a foul.
Now let's see this one.
Yeah, he did. He got him across the arm. Horford's in, and now finally a timeout is whistled as some wholesale subs are coming in for Atlanta. We'll take it to 6 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the game. It's 7. The Hawks have the lead. Boston ball. Some bodies were flying, and
yeah, I don't know if he got pushed, but
it looked like he did.
It looked like he did. Yeah, I mean, and that's right in front of the official, and they're calling all these chicken things on Perk and
Pierce. Nobody home. Horford. And Bibby will reset it. Bibby, Crawford, Smith, Horford, and Johnson on the floor. And an illegal defense. Couldn't tell if it was 34 or 43.
Well, 43 was outside guarding the point guard.
I know, but that sometimes doesn't make a difference. It was called on Pierce. You were right. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Marquise Daniels comes out. Ray Allen's back in. Celtics 11 of 14 at the free throw line. The Hawks 12 of 15. Crawford. And a chance for a three-point play. Doc is really upset at Orlando's Poole, the official right out in front of him.
Well, you know, they call the palming. Now watch this. That's a palm.
Yeah, sure is.
Right in front of him. Remember they called it on Daniels, and that wasn't even close.
Hawks have their biggest lead of the game, 11, and we're under 6 minutes to play. Pierce kicks it. Garnett with 6 on the clock back in Pierce's hands. He's going to have to shoot it. Rebound tapped by Perkins, but controlled in traffic by Smith. Crawford now matched up with Ray Allen. Smith comes out to set a high screen. Crawford comes up shooting. Rebound controlled by Perkins. Pierce will stop and go, takes it to the basket.
Oh, you've got to call a foul there. Oh, that's atrocious. Here's Pierce going to the basket. Watch this.
That's a foul.
Huh?
That's a foul. Ray Allen out of bounds. Hawk ball. Celtics turned the ball over 5 times here in the 4th quarter.
Look at that. Now they call a cheap one like that. Give me a break.
Celtics fouls on number 5, Kevin Garnett. That's his second personal. The Celtics are over at
54. Derek Collins. Go back to school.
And Bibby at the line, shooting 2.
Bibby will be at the line for 2. Bibby's coming in off his best game of the season Wednesday night. He had 19 points, 9 assists against the Knicks. 13 tonight. 12 is the difference in the game with 4:44 to play. Rondo to the basket for 2.
Yeah.
Rondo 2 for 4 in the game.
I don't know. Is something wrong with his hand or something that he wasn't shooting?
To be able to take it to the basket.
Yeah.
Traveling violation on Johnson. Once again. Got Horford in the switch, which means Bibby is on Garnett. They get it to KG. Oh, Celtics get lucky there. The pass deflected right to Pierce. It's an 8-point game. Bibby comes to set a screen on the blind side. Pierce saw him. Johnson skips a pass to Crawford. Crawford throws it up on the run, and a foul is called. It's on Rashid, who is saying that Crawford held off with the left arm. Let's see.
Up one end.
Ball doesn't lie. See, right there. Ball doesn't lie. Doc continues to have words.
Well, they're not going to get the award for great officiating. I'll tell you that, these guys.
Atlanta has taken the last 12 free throws in the game.
And the Celtics have been going to the basket, too.
Rondo trying to spin away. Fouls on Bibby. That's the second on Bibby. $14 on the shot clock, 3:27 on the game clock, which is much more important right now. 3-possession game, Boston down 9. Rondo taking it to the basket, and the foul is going to be on Horford.
Well, that's what this kid should have been doing for a long time. I don't know why he hasn't been, but he can destroy that defense just by doing stuff like that.
Rondo's first trip to the free throw line tonight.
Yep.
That hurts. Hawks are going to use some clock here. Johnson into the paint. Smith spins, throws it in. That looks awkward. It's his game, though.
Well, he's lefty, and you kind of forget that at times.
Rondo thought about pulling up, the shot goes inside instead, and the foul is going to be on Bibby. And we are going to get ourselves a timeout. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the game. Hawks by 11.
He wouldn't be playing, but
Pierce looking to take it to the basket, gets the bump, and banks it home.
But get it to your go-to guy. And they make a switch, which is what they've been doing all along, so that Pierce had an opportunity to use his quickness against a bigger guy. But
Paul Pierce just went by Bob McAdoo on the all-time scoring list with that basket. Now 49th all-time.
One of the things that you want to see with this ball club is somebody get a hot hand. Now, Rondo wasn't shooting. Ray only took 7 shots so far in this game, but they were hanging on him, the perimeter.
7 on the shot clock. Bibby over his shoulder. Crawford. Rebound Garnett. 5th for Garnett. More importantly, the Celtics down 8. Push it to the forecourt. Pierce taking it right to the basket. And he's going to get to the line for 2.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do.
Smith with a hard foul. Pierce will get 2. And can make it a 6-point game with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Most free throw attempts of the year for Paul. This will be his 11th of the game.
And he should have been about 4 or 5 more times.
Rondo snuck in there, but he couldn't control it.
Well, Rondo has got such great hands, and his timing is impeccable.
Bibby gets it into the forecourt. We'll go under 2 minutes on this possession. 7-point game.
Now they're going to give it to their go-to guy, the guy that can put it on the floor and make something happen. Pierce is trying to force him to the left. He still goes to his right.
Up ahead to Rondo. Into the hands of Pierce. Garnett comes out, sets the screen. Back to KG. Out to Rashid for 3. No, that was big. Garnett, aware of the score, passed up the 2 to go for the 3. Celtics have to get a stop here. Johnson is going to get a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, a pick and roll play. Atlanta ran it to perfection with Joe Johnson. Watch here. So the Celtics did not solve the pick and roll. And the offense sputtered all night long.
It's a 10-point Atlanta lead, and the Hawks are sensing it's a win. 1:16 left on the clock. Celtics take a timeout. Pierce with 24 leads the way for Boston. Garnett and Perkins 14 apiece. Perkins 14 points, 9 rebounds. The Hawks have 5 players in double figures, including Crawford getting his average off the bench with 17. Let's take a look at tonight's NBA scores. They're brought to you by a Klondike bar with a thicker chocolatey shell. What would you do for a Klondike bar? The Nets can't get their first win. Utah blows out Philly down in Philly as their East Coast trip continues. The Knicks lose at home to Golden State. Dallas beats Minnesota 89-77. Portland 86-78 over New Orleans. They lose their first game after Byron Scott got fired. Let's check out the road ahead, presented by Acela Express, where you can plug in and work or sit back and relax. Take your pick. Visit Amtrak.com for fares and schedules. Acela, enjoy the journey. Well, the Celtics finish off this game here tonight, getting a plane and head out to Indiana. It's going to be a late arrival here, so we're not going to get off the ground for another hour, hour and a half. And then the Celtics are back with another Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to be in the gym and have a couple of home games on Wednesday and Friday on the 18th and the 20th. Hope you can join us for those. Let's take a look at our Amica game update. It's not pretty if you're a Celtic fan. Joe Johnson leading the way with 24 for the Hawks. Same number for Paul Pierce on the other side. Horford in double digits with 11 rebounds and Perkins with 9, but the rebounding number not close at all. 44-28 total for the teams. Rondo has 9 assists.
Well, the Celtics spread the defense and really didn't, when they missed a shot, yeah, they really didn't have anybody rebound the misses.
Celtics are going to have to foul here, I think. Down 8.
They lost.
Choose not to.
They lost the battle of the boards big time, man.
Boy, did they. They ended up with 56 points in the paint. It's just 1 for 13 on threes. Eddie House is out there. Celtics got their 3-point shooters. Pierce a deep 3. No. Rebound to Crawford. And here's the foul by Eddie House. Coming up next, Postgame Live, presented by New England Ford. Gary, Donnie, Tommy, Greg, and I'll all be by Doc's postgame press conference and the Tommy Award passed out. That's coming up on Postgame Live, presented by New England Ford. Sheldon Williams, Brian Scalabrine coming in for Boston. This is not going to be an easy back-to-back at all. The Indiana Pacers have been off for a couple of days. You know, Jim O'Brien's going to have them ready to play the Celtics. And as I mentioned, it is going to be a late night. Probably 2:30 in the morning before the Celtics are in their rooms in Indianapolis. And it's a 7 o'clock game tomorrow night. Such is life in the NBA.
You know, this addition of Crawford is going to really add something to them because he's a terrific shooter and he's going to be playing against second-line guards for and he's been a starter almost every place he's been. So that's a terrific addition, and he was effective in this game.
Mr. Hudson comes up shooting, and the Celtics will absorb their second loss of the season. Boston will go to 8-2. The Hawks will go to 7-2. And again, this is a very good rivalry, and this is a Hawk team I mentioned it earlier tonight. They are not at all afraid of the Celtics, despite the fact they had lost 7 straight games to them. They know what they can do off that playoff series of a couple of years ago, and now they have drawn first blood in the matchup this year. Big win for this Atlanta team. They win in New York the other night.